Welcome back into the Just Beavin podcast. We're continuing to chug along here in our preseason power rankings entering the 2026 campaign. On to number 9. We're in single digits here, fellas. We continue to move along, and we're going to be looking at one of our expansion members team here in this episode. We added a few expansion members, Brady, Cam Kruk, and Matt Hendricks. We've gone through the other two. It's about time we talk about Cam Kruk's squad. Third year for Cam here in Beaverfest as we look into it all here in the fold. JP starting to kind of make that turn now. He's got some young, exciting pieces on his roster that we're going to be looking at today.
Yeah, I think starting with last episode, we've started to get into the teams that, come November are still going to be playing for something more than a draft spot. So I think Crook takes what we talked about with Brady a step further.
Yeah,
Yeah, Beav.
100% agree. 100% agree. I think he's taking it a step further. I think his team's gotten better every year since he's joined this league, and that's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that. He's just a couple pieces away to being a title contender, which is perfectly okay still.
It's a hard job, and we've had members come and go from our great league and the enshrinement of this incredible group of individuals. But the expansion guys, they really get their own kind of adjustment here into the league as we had the expansion draft a couple summers ago, and just everything that went into that. But we look at Cam's squad and how it is situated right now. And as we always do, we'll go through the positional groups first. I'll kick us off here with the quarterbacks. Brook rosters at 9 QBs. I haven't gone through the rosters in a while, guys. I want to say, unless Zippy somehow has more, because I feel like Jake always rosters a crap load of quarterbacks. He has to have rostered the most quarterbacks out of anyone in this league.
Yeah, I can't confirm or deny, but there's no way. I'm out.
Nine.
There's no way. It's Crook. It's gotta be Crook.
9 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And
What do we have?
sometimes
30? What do we have? 32 roster spots, so a fourth of his roster is quarterbacks.
Jesus.
and you can only play 2 at the most on a given week.
We're fucking rostering Joe Milton.
It's
I
so
still
sometimes
can't believe Carson Wentz is rostered.
Where is he even at now? Is he on the Chiefs still? Is that where he's at?
No, he's in Minnesota still.
Minnesota, I was gonna say. What is gonna be my
Okay.
guess? So yeah, sometimes they say the more the merrier. That for me, my ranking, I have Cam's quarterback group at 11. That's sometimes the more the merrier. That's not the case. I will say I traded him Trevor Lawrence. T-Law had an incredible performance in week 14 or week 15. It was the first round of our playoffs. I remember JP, me, you, and Zippy and Cam were at the Bears game, and me, you, and Jake were losing all of our first round matchups. But I was saying Lawrence keeps scoring touchdowns. He keeps putting up points. He had like a 40-point week.
I remember that.
I literally look and I go, if I'm going to lose when Trevor Lawrence scores 43 points in a playoff game, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. That's exactly what happened. I like that Cam, because before I trade him T-Law, it was JJ and Shadur, and a lot of uncertainty. He's got the stable quarterback. He's got the quarterback he can trot out there every week. But after saying that, outside of T-Law, I'm not a JJ McCarthy guy. I don't think any of us here on this panel are. It's hard to see. Shadur, who knows? It's Cleveland. I just think there's so many question marks, and we'll dive through the whole list, but that's why I have it at 11. I like T-Law going into year 2 with Liam Cohen. Things could be really fun out there down in Saxonville, as it was formerly known as. But there's just, I don't know, it's a bunch of nothing. It's a bunch of fluff after JJ is going to get his shot eventually. I mean, Kyler Murray should have that job, so that kind of knocks the rankings down a peg as well. But he's going to have Shadur. He's going to have at least 2 quarterbacks he could start. But after that, it's really just backups. And then again, he's got Watson, so he's going to have the Cleveland starter one way or another. Also has Gabriel. I'm shocked he doesn't have all of the quarterbacks, doesn't have all the stones collected, the Infinity Stones collected for the Browns quarterback room. But yeah, there's a lot in here, but just because there's a lot doesn't mean it's good. So I have Cam's quarterback room.
Yeah, I can hop in here. I got Cam's quarterback room at 10. And I think you said 11, right, Yak?
Mhm.
I got him at 10. I love T-Law, man. You see the average age at 26.7, which is kind of crazy. I guess what's Deshaun now? 31. Does that sound right?
I have to
29?
look it up.
Older than 29.
31, I think he is.
He's
I
definitely in
think.
his 30s.
Anyways, a little weird room outside of T-Law. You got JJ McCarthy. Not a fan of him. Never have been. Little 9. It's going to be interesting in Cleveland what they end up doing. I saw that Instagram post of Jerry Jeudy saying he wants Deshaun to start. Then you got others saying they want Shador to start. You know, it's crazy, man. I don't know how they're gonna do it over there. They got a new coach and Todd Monken, or so I don't know. It's gonna be weird. Other outside of Shador and Deshaun, I don't really see any upside from any other quarterback in this room. You got Nuss. It's sad to say that he went to KC. He's not going to see any playing time. He's got the QB3 there with then you got Anthony
I mean, sad to
Richardson.
say, would he have gotten playing time anywhere? I think
I
he went like
mean,
the seventh round.
I personally, Yak, if he went to the Jets, the Steelers, I'm trying to think of the other team. I think he could have had a shot at being that backup role and then potentially being the QB1 by the end of the year. You get what I'm saying? Or Miami. You get what I'm saying?
I don't, but I mean,
You
I'm
don't think he
not.
would
I
have
don't
got
know.
you don't think he would have got a shot. You don't think and he got screwed
I,
at
I,
college. I mean, I think he got benched for no reason.
I don't think Garrett Musmeier's a QB1 in the NFL personally. No.
I don't think he's a QB1, but I mean Drew Aller got drafted in the third round. I mean, that's nonsense. I mean, come on. I mean, I think he's better than Drew Aller. I don't care what you got to say about that, but I think he's better than Drew Aller. Uh, I know you hate Drew Aller, so I think you can defend me on that. But anyways, outside of T-Law, I think everyone else is booty cheeks in this QB room. So I'll leave it at that.
Drew, what did you have the room ranked at? I'm sorry.
At number 10.
Gotcha. Okay. I have this room ranked at 13th. I think outside of Matt,
Oof.
this is by far the worst quarterback room in the league. He
Yeah,
has T-Law, which is a very, very great place to start, but
and
there's
that's why I ranked
literally
so high.
what maybe one other starter. I mean, and who's not to say that Taylon Green doesn't get the job in Cleveland? Now,
Oh God,
I'm not
cheat!
saying
Come
Taylon Green's
on.
any good, but if they're 0-12 and Shadur sucks, they're not going to keep trotting Watson out there. This is Monken's first time ever being a head coach. He's going to do whatever he can to show any signs of life. I'm just saying there could come a point by like week 15 here where he's only got Trevor Lawrence to start because McCarthy's not getting the job back. And I will say though, coming into this conversation, I didn't think we were going to spend the most time talking about Garrett Nussmeier, so that was an interesting tidbit there.
I
Although
mean,
I will throw my 2 cents into the ring. I do actually agree with Drew. I think there were some situations there where Nuss could have found himself in better favor, like
Thank you,
Nick
thank
Klubnik.
you.
I think Nuss was worth a third round pick. I think I had him as my QB3 in this draft. But that's regardless.
yeah, I mean,
The actual conversation boils down to we have a bunch of guys clumped there from 2 to 4. A bunch of guys who've never really gotten a fair shake at the starting go. I know McCarthy technically got his 8 games, and Richardson's got his not 12 games or whatever. And Shadurg played 6 games or whatever the
They
hell.
did beat the Bears.
But the point is that they've never really gotten their chance, and I actually do think all 3 of them outside of their current organizations, if they don't get another chance with the current organization, will find an opportunity to start on another team. Although I think McCarthy's chance will come in Minnesota. I think the other 2 will come outside of Cleveland and Pittsburgh. This room could be better in 2 years. I don't ever see it being anything elite. I think McCarthy's the only one with any of that upside. I don't think Richardson hits it. Shadur, the problem is the glam's going to follow him everywhere. This is a really fucking bad quarterback room. And it is what it is. I actually think Deshaun Watson is somehow going to be better than the QB 41. But I mean, all things considered, I don't know how much better. He's been dog shit, and I've seen some training camp clips. Just like
All right,
I can't believe this is real.
all right. So
It's bad.
obviously, all right. So let's play a fun game here.
let's do it.
All right, pick and choose between these 3 quarterbacks: Dylan, Gabriel, Watson, and Shador.
Can I pick
Who
you
we?
instead, Beef?
I mean, that's fine. I mean, there's a good chance to tear my ACL, but we can go.
I,
We can
I
go out
I'd
there.
say Shadur, but
I don't know. What's the end goal here? Is the end goal to win the most games right now, or is the end goal to win the
like
most games in 3 years?
Okay, let's put it this way. Out of these 3 quarterbacks, if these quarterbacks were all 25,
Deshaun
that
Watson.
okay, but I'm trying to like word
yeah, because
this.
Watson, yeah.
Listen, if I had to drop one to go start at quarterback on the Legion,
allegations.
if I had to go drop one on the Legion of Boom right now to play against the Patriots in the Super Bowl, who would give me the best chance of winning? I think Dylan Gabriel would give me the safest chance to win the game. I think he would fuck up the least amount.
I'm taking Shador, so I'm going to be completely honest.
That's fine. I certainly think the answer is right as long as you don't answer Deshaun Watson.
Well,
can I make a call to the bullpen and bring in Joe Flacco?
What about Johnny Manziel? Is he willing to come back?
Brandon Weeden? Can I bring in Brandon Weeden?
Yeah,
little Seneca Wallace action?
Yes. Hey, don't forget about Derek Anderson, okay?
Where's Brian Hoyer's bald head when you need him?
What about Trace McSorley? How about that one?
He's an assistant offensive analyst on the Bills. I just found out today.
He is good. Yeah. This is not where I expected the Cam Kruk quarterback conversation to go, but I'm happy it did. JP, you ended with the quarterbacks. We'll go from probably the worst part of Cam's team to the best part, in all honesty, in his running back.
Yes, and Kruk, hey man, I sincerely mean this. I just ranked your quarterbacks at 13. I got your running backs at 2. I love this room, man. This is a phenomenal room. We obviously are starting with what I think is the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley. I think Love's going to disappoint, much as rookie running backs tend to. Bijan disappointed, Genty disappointed. Cardinals still got a long way to go. So I think this year it's going to be rough, but he's going to get the touches. He's going to get the carries. And that's the best part about Jeremiah Love. Unlike Bijan, unlike Genty, he wasn't bell cowed in college because he shared it with another first-round pick in Jadarian Price. That is what I love most about Jeremiah Love is not only do we know he is so elite, but he's fresh. He does not have a lot of tread on the tires compared to other running backs who get picked in the top 10. So that is awesome. I love Judkins. I've been very vocal about how much I love Judkins. Monken took what Greg Roman had as a good running game and elevated it and made it even better. That's going to be awesome with Judkins. And I was very against Breece Hall. We can go back and look at the just Beavin during the seasons. And I was outspoken about how much I was against Breece Hall because I didn't think the Jets were going to pay him. Then last year he comes out. He looks like he wants to play football again. He's having fun. He looks good. I'm back in on Breece Hall. Breece Hall is an original Kevin Parker member. Drafted him in the inaugural draft, so the belief's always been there, but guy just didn't care about football. I'm back in on Breece Hall. It's fun. You got the handcuff with Sampson. Jordan James getting the RB2 reps behind Christian McCaffrey. It's inevitable McCaffrey misses time. The rest of the room is whatever. But love Judkins and Breece Hall for what that is. Man, those three guys, if Shedeur can score 10 points a week or Watson can score 10 points a week, those three guys can get you some wins. I mean, between the three of them, you can get 60, 70 points. There can be some very fun weeks with that running back room.
Yeah,
I have a question for you, JP. You go
ahead.
Sure.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you brought up the point and start a little bit of dialogue here. I mean, obviously we agree. Jeremiah loves to study. He's a beast. And you always talk about with these type of guys that he's going to under exceed expectations. Do you think that's because we as fantasy football enthusiasts, do we put too high of expectations on these guys to begin with? Do you think that's a big part of that?
Yeah, I'm not even really sure if it's the expectations we put on them. I think it's more so of this guy was the number 3 overall pick kind of expectations but then it's a weird conversation, right? Because, Mendoza goes number 1 and we're like, no one, it's like Cam Ward goes number 1, but no one was, all the talk was about what's Travis Hunter going to do? What's McMillan going to do? What's Igbuka going to do? That was what are the Warren versus Loveland thing last year. So it's a really unique conversation, I guess, and when you look at it like that. But I would say, yeah, I think it's more so like, oh, this running back just went top 3. That doesn't happen. He must be like out of this world good. But the problem is then you got to think like they're going to dog shit teams. So it's like, where's the.
Yeah. So I mean, I just always feel like it's like, like Drew last year with Genty, number 1 overall pick in our draft. He went top 10 in the NFL draft to Vegas. Terrible spot. They had a rough year. So it's always tough looking at the talent. I'll just hop in here. I rank Cam's at number 2 as well. You sung the praises of Breece Hall. I went on the record. I traded Breece Hall. I've given Cam a couple of nice pieces here in his rebuild. I love Breece Hall as a talent. And I think I made that pretty abundantly clear on this podcast a lot last year. I just hate that spot. I just feel like he is one of those guys. We are being robbed of an opportunity of seeing, just not in terms of IRL how good of a player he is, but obviously from a fantasy standpoint, we are being robbed of seeing what Breece Hall could really be. We've seen the spike games. We've seen him, do a lot with nothing on the offense. I couldn't even imagine him a part of an actual competent system. I feel like Judkins had multiple 2-touchdown games last year. I could be totally off of that, but I feel like we're constantly seeing Judkins finding himself in the end zone. He immediately stepped in as a rookie. He exceeded expectations. We love Jeremiah Love, Sampson as well, as you mentioned, another good handcuff. The only thing that I had about Love, and this really pissed me off, is the Nathaniel Hackett comments from last week of saying when they were asking about the running back room, he's like, well, he's a rookie. It's like, why are we doing this? Like, he's your best guy back there. And I know there's going to be competition, right? James Conner's been there for like 50 years and as well. I'm blanking. Oh, it's Tyler Algier is there as well. So that's not always great for Love, but like, guys, we have to think they can't treat this.
What
like
it, what I think
right?
what was Hackett's exact quote?
Well, because he was talking about every guy in the room. He's like, "Oh, Connor's impressive. He's a gritty veteran." With Love, well, he's a rookie. And
yeah, that's what it was. Well, you can tell he's a rookie, or he's a rookie.
It's like,
yeah, come on.
What are we doing? Like,
Come
really?
on.
Like, I mean, that bothers me, and I didn't want to.
What makes that even worse? What makes that even worse is where does Nathaniel Hackett get off?
Exactly.
The same guy who ruined Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, should Kruk be worried at all about those comments? Or I mean, Hackett's a moron. He's not going to stick around, and then the talent will shine through. But I just feel like that's frustrating.
I don't even think he's gonna be calling the play, so I don't even think
He's not. It's going to be LaFleur.
I don't even think his opinion matters.
McVay has, and I know we've had to listen to it for years about the running back 2 was going to take Kyren Williams' jobs. Well, every year Kyren Williams finishes top 5 in the league in carries,
Right.
so I don't think we're going to have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's all I had, Drew. If you have anything to finish off the running
No,
back,
you guys hit on the horn. I got his RBs at 5, and this room's great. He's got 3 talented running backs. And the thing I wanted to point out too is his average age is 22.7. I mean, that's great. I mean, you got 3 good running backs. I mean, almost. I know Breece Hall's a little older. I think he's 25, but Judkins and Jeremiah Love under 23 years old. I mean, that's great. I mean, you don't really see that many duos in our league under 23 years old. So, that's great. So, yeah.
I'm going to jump back in quick here.
Go for it.
Kruk's average age is 24.9, which is the second youngest in the league, just as a team as a whole. So, Andy, I accidentally missed. Where'd you have his running backs ranked?
2.
Boy, I love it. Love it.
Yeah. I know. I looked at Keep Track Cut. They had him at 3, and I looked across. I'm like, how could you not like? I don't know. Picking hairs, and we always feel like they're maybe a bit higher on everyone. Like of all rooms, of all teams to be lower, they're lower on Cam's running back room than they should be. Like, I don't know. Their method is rather interesting. Drew, did you have anything else, or you good to go?
No, I was just gonna add earlier. I said I'm just still shocked for like how like kind of balanced Kruk's team is, kind of, and we'll get into it more. I'm shocked he still hasn't traded for a quarterback yet.
Well, he did. He traded for Lawrence.
Well, I know, but like as his flex position, though, I mean, if I really think if he trades for another quarterback that's serviceable outside of Deshaun Watson, which who knows what that's going to end up like.
It takes 2 to tangle, man. Who knows? Maybe he'll listen to this and he'll go, Beav, you're right. I need to acquire another quarterback because he doesn't have 8 others already.
If Kruk says, Beav, you're right, I'll fucking suck you off.
Hey, I know. Hey, I know Geno Smith's waiting for a new home. I know that.
Beav, let's get you ripping here on the receivers. What do you got for us?
Yeah, man. A little interesting group. You got the 1, 2, 3 right there. Luther Burden, who I love as a Bears fan. I think he's gonna be great this year. My 2 question marks for 2 and 3 are Parker Washington and Alec Pierce. You see all these media guys saying, "Oh, he's gonna be great." Parker Washington's gonna be the sleeper. Well, I'm the opposite. I really don't think. I'm not saying he's bad, but I don't think he's gonna be a guy that gets you 15 and 20 points. I don't even know if he's gonna get you 10 points some weeks. You got Brian Thomas coming back. Yeah, he's a little banged up. You got Jacoby Myers coming back. You got Brenton Strange. They just drafted 2 tight ends. They drafted Tanner Koziel, and I forgot the other guy's name.
Nate Borkner, but he sucks.
Right. Then you got.
I mean, he's a blocking tight end they took in the 2nd round.
Yeah, and then you got 2 in, and you got Chris Rodriguez. I mean, just a lot of options, a lot of mouths to feed. I mean, I just don't see the upside of all these media guys slobbing on Parker Washington. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm in the wrong here, but I just don't see the hype here. And then you go to Alec Pierce. Uh he's banged up. He signed that big contract with it, which is crazy. I don't even think he's as good as Michael Pittman. He's a great deep ball threat, but outside of that, I think he's an okay receiver. But who I really love in this receiver room? I love Adonai Mitchell. I really think he's going to hit it off the Jets this year. I think Gino's going to sling the rock, and I think he's going to have a great year. I really do. He might not be that receiver one because they got Cooper the Pooper and Garrett Wilson, but I think he's going to slide right in that receiver three and be great. Then he's got Tess Johnson, Marvin Mims, Jahan Dotson, Luke McCaffrey. I don't know how I feel about Tess Johnson. He had a good end of the year, but adding Ted Hurst, he might be coming for his job. So I don't know. But the other interesting candidate we got here is Tutu Atwell. Like we said earlier, that Miami offense wide open. He could be the receiver one. He could be the receiver six. Uh, it's time's gonna tell. I don't think any of us know what's gonna happen to Miami. So
If we did, we wouldn't be here.
right. So I'd be the head coach. So, but yeah, I'll leave it off. I'll send it off to JP.
You mentioned everyone's name, but our boy Jade Walker.
I mean, Johnny Walker, I love him, but I don't, I don't really see a lot of upside for him. Usually, if I don't say anybody, that means I was like, yeah,
That means
whatever.
you're on Beav's list.
Hey, let's not give
I
him my secrets.
I have this wide receiver room at 9. And
Oh, I didn't say that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think I had it at 11. Sorry, I don't know if I said that.
on paper, I think it's more of the 11th best wide receiver room, but I'm forecasting as a prediction here. Think Luther Burden is going to emerge as top 15 wide receiver. I know it's Bears. I know it's probably sounds biased, but the guy, there's no reason he should have gone in the second round. There's no reason he should have gone outside the top 15 last year. The guy was an insane wide receiver prospect. He just happened to share a class with McMillan and Hunter. He's going to be good. I'm in the same boat as with Drew as Parker Washington. I don't think Parker Washington's a scrub bum. I just don't think like people are like, oh, Parker Washington, oh, he was so good at the end of last year, and that's just not me. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be adequate. There's going to be those weeks where he does score 22 points, but I think there's going to be a lot more weeks where he's below 11 than there were last year. Alec Pierce is an interesting conversation. I'm not quite sure what he's capable of. We've only ever seen him in this vertical role. Obviously, Steichen knows more than we do, so they felt comfortable paying him X receiver contract. He's going to play X receiver here. It's going to be fun to watch at the bare minimum because it's either going to be one of the worst contracts we've ever seen given out in football, or he's probably going to be underpaid. I don't see him. I don't see him meeting somewhere in the middle. So that's going to be an interesting scenario to watch. Mitchell, and I loved Donnie Mitchell.
The talent, right? The talent was always there, but
Bro, he's gonna be a
It's
stud.
so sad
Trust,
that he went to the
trust.
Jets. It's just such a crowded room. The same way Drew brought up fucking Byshal Tootin and Chris Rodriguez and didn't even talk about the Jets weapons who are 10 times better than the
I brought him up.
Jaguars
I brought
weapons.
him up. I
No,
brought him
you
up.
just said they drafted Cooper Pooper.
And I said Garrett Wilson.
Well, what about Brees Hall? What about Kenyon Sadiq? What about Mason Taylor?
You know what?
I'm just saying, you wanted to go off on the Jaguars' weapons. The Jets got better weapons. I like Kayshon Boutte for what he is. I think he's another guy who could score 18 on a given week, but can also score 4. So he'll be good in the flex spot. Then Johnson, Mims. I'll save Jahan Dotson for a little later. But Johnson, Mims, I think are interesting guys because we saw what they're capable of as wide receiver fours, and they'll never be anything more. But they're those kind of guys you are okay rostering as depth because you can throw them in and they might catch 4 passes for 48 yards and a touchdown and finish with 14 points, and then you're over the moon. Luke McCaffrey's dog shit. I'm shocked he's still rostered in real life and this league. And then Jade Walker rips. I have nothing to add about Tutu Atwell. But wanted to save Jahan Dotson for last because the same way Drew talked about Olamide Zaccheaus, is how I feel about Jahan Dotson.
Yes, I love it.
I think it's wide open. There needs to be a wide receiver 3 in Atlanta. Jahan Dotson, former first round pick. He's clearly got talent, a lot more than Zacchaeus.
How old is he
So
now?
I
Jahan
think he's
Dotson's got to be
27.
27. Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere in
How old
there.
is Jahan Dotson?
it's
That's my
copyright.
watch.
It's copyright. Won't answer.
26. It's a very young 26. I would have guessed
Gotcha.
him to be older.
I would have as well, like I did. But anyways, that's my thoughts. I got the wide receiver room at 9. I like this room. It's definitely fun. Cam, your team is actually a lot of fun. You should have a lot of fun watching this roster this year.
I have the group at 11 as well, and you guys have pretty much hit everything. The only thing I have, we keep talking about how horrible KTC's algorithm is. Why is Parker Washington above Alec Pierce? Like,
I mean,
right?
I
Am
think
I right? Like,
it's that hype that we just brought up.
yeah,
I know, right? But like, are we in agreement that Pierce should be above Washington?
I am in agreement.
yeah, I
yes.
would agree, but I think it's closer than what you think. I would agree. It's
I'm not.
above
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not close, but I think Pierce is the better player. And the
100%.
contract. I know they value age for everything, but Pierce just got like the biggest free agent wide receiver contract ever. I like him a lot. I mean, sure, there's some bias there because he's from the northwest suburbs, just like some of us here in this league. Shout out Glenbard West, and then Burden. We've already glazed Burden a lot, but he's going to be amazing this year. Just watching some of his offseason, the 1v1 rep he beat Tyreek Stevenson on today. I don't know if you guys saw that out on Instagram or on Twitter or wherever.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
Kruk
Like,
reminded us.
just unreal. Like, yeah, and you guys have hit it a lot. Johnson's fun. It backflips all over the place. I think Booty is a guy who, if he gets some run, New England, there's a couple receiver rooms in this league where we look and say, they got like 5 guys who are kind of in the same tier. And maybe not 5, but 3 to 5 options, outside of the primary guy that are in the same tier. I think you can make that argument for New England. I think if Booty can just find a way to separate himself, he can have some value here in the league. Mitchell sucks that he's in New York. That's a tough spot to be in with how crowded everything is. And yeah, you guys pretty much hit everything else. Parker Washington, I don't know. He had those few big weeks last year, but I think we'll have to see a full sample size this year. I think we'll know midway through this season if that was a fluke or if Parker Washington is for real. So I have the group ranked at 11th. I'll finish out here with the tight end unit. We talk about Kruk having more quarterbacks than anyone in the league. He certainly has less tight ends than anyone in the league. Yeah, I think he has a top 5 tight end room in the league, guys. I have him at number 4. That might sound crazy. This goes back to our conversation last episode with Brady talking about looking at just the value of tight ends, whether it's in redraft format or here, and how watered down the tight end position is. Tyler Warren's a monster. The rookie year, we just saw it's only going up for him. He's a top 4, top 3 tight end in the entire fantasy landscape. Like, it's him alone really elevates this room. And I like the Ferguson and Parkinson duo out in LA. One of them I think is bound to really take that job. That's another tough group and tough unit in the league out in Los Angeles. Looking at it, nobody really stands out. Ferguson's a guy they've spent a second round pick on recently, so you have to think that's going to be where they're going to lean. This is one of those where less is more. He has, not as many tight ends, but I just really, Tyler Warren alone elevates the group. And then if Ferguson can assert himself and become that top tight end option in LA, Crook's got a couple of really nice assets here, not just in terms of value for the league in general, but for himself in terms of production on a weekly basis. So yeah, I have it ranked at 4.
Yeah, I can hop in here. I got the tight end room at 8 just because of what he's got in here. Yes, Tyler Warren's a stud, but then you look at his other 2 for his bye weeks. Terrence Ferguson and Colby Parkinson. Are they okay? Absolutely. Are they going to get you 10 points? Maybe. Are they going to get you 7 points? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how you can look at Terrence Ferguson all you want. He's a great tight end. But I don't know. It's a mystery. I don't know how he's gonna play. Tight end 17 is crazy. In my opinion, I don't think he should be that high. I think he should be a little lower, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. So, what do you got, JP?
I also have this room at 8. I agree with every single word Andy said about Tyler Warren. And I think he's going to be even better, obviously, right? But then again, going to Drew's point, you might automatically lose whatever week the Colts are on bye because you have to start one of Ferguson or Parkinson. And actually, I just looked at a stat today where Ferguson or Parkinson, Higbee, and Allen all got more targets than Ferguson did. Higbee didn't even play half the year. It's just
Yeah.
and then they draft Max Clare on top of the
Right.
room that are all of
I was
those
the
guys
rookie.
I
I was forgetting
listed.
the rookie. I knew it
Yeah,
was Claire or
all of
someone
those
else.
guys
Yeah.
I listed came back, and then they draft Max Clare.
And I think he's above Terrence Ferguson. I
it's just
really
a
do.
very, very, very crowded room. But yeah, Warren is awesome, but as an entire room, I couldn't put it any higher than 8.
Fair enough. I mean, that's just it's tough. I think tight end, and we could brace debate. We'll get to the draft picks in a minute, but it's a hard position to evaluate, in my opinion. You go to the quality or the quantity. Where do the elite guys stand out? How much do they really put themselves ahead? And hey, that's just how it rolls. The draft picks, though, guys, the draft picks. And JP, I'll let you start here with Cam's draft picks. It's been something that for him in his few years, he's done a really good job stockpiling picks as they've come along. He not only has, similar to what we just talked about with Brady in the previous episode, not only does he have a fun roster now with fun pieces, he's got 3 first-round picks and 5 picks in the first 2 rounds in this coming draft.
Yep. Like we just said with Brady, I had Brady's overall picks at 2. I have Kruk's at 3. He's loaded in 2027. He's so loaded that after we published the Ty episode, Ty got so scared of going 1-13 that Ty made a move to elevate his roster to prevent Kruk from potentially owning 2 top 3 picks. I know the other picks he owns is his and Zips, and we're talking about how Kruk could be good, he could be bad. We're really not sure. Zip's probably going to be good. But those are great picks to own. He owns his 2028 first as well. He owns his 2029 first as well. But just what really did it for me is the amount of capital he owns in 2027.
Steve?
Yeah, I got his picks at 3 as well. It really came to me that he's got 3 first round picks in 2027 and a loaded draft class. Uh, yes, Ty's team got a little better, but not much better. So I still think this pick is around 103 to 106, hit or miss. And then I think Jake's picks around 107 to 114. So, I mean, regardless, he has 3 first round picks in this loaded draft. That's going to be amazing. And quite frankly, all 3 of these first round picks could be in his starting lineup next year and day 1. So, we'll see what happens.
I'm at 4. The only reason why, obviously, I think we can all agree why Brady would be ahead of him is not only does Brady have good capital for this coming draft, he's got elite capital in 28 as well. I think if you stack elite capital in consecutive years, that's going to put you ahead of other guys. That's not to say that Crook's capital in 2027 has gone unnoticed. I think we've given it enough love, but post that, I didn't realize he had my second round pick next year. That's good to know. I had no idea. I'm sure it's one of the many trades we've made in the last, however long. So, but still, though, he's got his own firsts. I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day. He's got his own first round picks, and on top of it, I think that's when you go to evaluate capital, one of the first things you look at. Do you own your own picks, and do you own your own priority picks? And Cam checks those boxes really for most of the situations, except 2028, but he still has a second. So that kind of works its way out. His picks are ranked number 4 for me. Take a quick intermission. When we come back, we'll look at Cam's team awards entering the season as well as his schedule right here on the Just Beavin podcast. Wrapping up the episode here, looking at Cam's team with the awards and then his schedule here as we enter the 2026 season. I'll start us off per usual with the team MVP. We raved a lot about him toward the end of the positional rankings. And Cam's got some options here, but I feel like the obvious choice in my eyes, at least, is Tyler Warren. You look at what he put together in his rookie season last year with the Colts, and given all the movement, Daniel Jones getting injured and dealing with everything at the end of the season, he's still deemed to be quarterback proof for the most part, given the fact that we are a tight end premium league as well. He's one of the premier guys to have at the position, which at the very top is rather thin in the upper tier. I think the ceiling, it continues to be, just extremely high for Warren and what he can do. He's my MVP for this team. JP, are we leaning anywhere else on your end for the team MVP?
Yeah, so I originally had Tyler Warren when I first went through everything, and then as I kind of sat with it, I actually changed my answer to Breece Hall. I got Breece Hall being the MVP for this team. Well, I think Warren is probably the likely candidate. I just feel so good about what Breece Hall is going to be doing on a fresh new contract behind easily a top 8 offensive line in the league. I think things have a good chance to be fun in New York. If you just turn off your eye to the defensive side of the football, just focus on the offense, I think things could be a lot of fun. And I think Brees Hall is going to be a big time beneficiary of all the weapons they just brought in. It's going to really open up the run game. So I think Brees Hall's got a chance to finish as a top 5 running back this year.
Yeah. I think my MVP is gonna go with. That's kind of gonna be basic, but I'm gonna take T-Law. I really do good things in that Jags offense, and I think with his rushing upside, I think he's do good things for Cam's offense and be that guy that scores 20 to 25 points every week for Cam. So he's my MVP.
Beav, who's your breakout candidate?
Yeah, my breakout candidate. I know I mentioned them in the episode earlier. I'm going with Adonai Mitchell out of New York. I do think he breaks
Damn, I
out.
really thought we were all going to have the same one.
I really do think he breaks out. I think he assembles himself as that true receiver 3 in New York, and I think he's going to be a good guy for Cam to get 10 points every week. So I think that's going to shock some people when I say that, but I think he is going to be a guy towards the end of the year that gets 10 points for Cam every week. So that's my breakout. JP.
Yeah, I have my breakout as Luther Burden. Everything I said during the wide receiver segment, I don't think anything else needs to be said. The guy's going to be electric, and I think a breakout's inevitable.
I'll keep it short and simple. That's also my breakout candidate is Burton in terms of what he's going to be able to do. DJ Moore now with Buffalo, it's very clear that him, Roman, Colston, it's the trio, the 3 Musketeers, they're going to be the focal point of the offense for Caleb Williams. They're all young. They're all on the right trajectory. They're all on the same path. And it's going to be fun for us Bears fans here this season. JP, who's your X factor? Who is the guy who needs to make a massive difference for Cam's squad?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Alec Pierce, right? We talked about him, and we're really not sure what to expect. He's going to a whole new role. The highs could be highs and the lows could be lows, but I think 100% if Pierce earns his contract in the fantasy world, holy shit. I had Crook's wide receiver room at 9. There's if Pierce hits what his ceiling could be based on his contract and Burden breaks out like we think, this could easily be a top 6, top 5, top 4 room in the league. I mean undeniably. We're looking at 2 wide receiver ones and 2 pretty potent offenses too, assuming Daniel Jones looks healthy and okay. So I think 100%. But if Pierce flops, this room I already projected at 9. Drew had it at 11. Andy, I forget what you had it at, but
He had 11.
11.
yeah,
11.
but see,
Yeah.
I'm already high on it. So if Pierce flops, oh my gosh, that's tragic, and it will really hurt Cam in terms of winning because there's really no one else on that in that wide receiver room, in Cam's wide receiver room, who can fill what he needs from Pierce. So I think Pierce is a big time X factor.
Beav, what do you got?
Yeah, for my X factor, I got the Browns quarterback room. I talked about earlier, I said I'm shocked Cam didn't has a trade for a quarterback yet, but if this quarterback room in Cleveland can assemble and they can find that QB1 just for this year, and that QB can get Cam 15 to 20 points each week. I mean, this team that Cam's assembling is going to be pretty fun to watch, like JP said. I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, could be some weeks where Cam puts up 150 points if these QBs assemble for 15, 20 points. He's got a lot of fun pieces in the running back room and the receiver room. So it's really up to this Cleveland quarterback room to come out and help Cam's team come out and play football. So that's what I got.
Me and JP are on the same page. My X factor is Alec Pierce as well. I think we've seen the big boom games for him. He's going to be, the big threat offensively, for Indy and kind of alongside. He does have Pierce. Cam does have Pierce and Warren, but that could be a really good thing. We talk about stacks. That could be a really fun stack to have. And given everything we've talked about with Pierce already, if he can be that consistent, go ball guy, the jump ball guy, and have those multi-touchdown games, not consistently, but if you could put some of those together in big moments for Cam, could elevate his team. We always talk about that's a big thing with an X factor. How can you elevate the group? And Pierce certainly has those qualities if he can hit his ceiling. The disappointment for me was going back and forth on this. I'm just going to go with the octet of quarterbacks. So the 8 quarterbacks who aren't named Trevor Lawrence, we're just going to put all of them in one bunch. And that's going to be the disappointment. Obviously, I'm not saying Carson Wentz is going to disappoint Kruk because Carson Wentz probably won't get on the football field this year. I'm just bunching them all into one to make life easier. But Yeah, I think he's going to be disappointed in the production he gets from his quarterback room out of everyone not named Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'll hop in with my disappointment. I had JJ McCarthy, but I mean, I'm changing that up because I really do think it's going to be Parker Washington. I don't think he's going to be bad, like I said, but I do think he's going to disappoint some people and not get that 15 to 20 points that people think he's going to get. I think he's going to be more of a 7 to 10 points. So that is a little bit of disappointment. And I don't think he'll be able to be a flex play down the road, but that's just my hot take. So, JP?
Yeah, I also have Parker Washington, but I do still think he's going to be a capable flex play. It's just people are talking about him like he's going to be like a true number one league winner type of guy, and I don't see that happening with Parker Washington.
There you have it, the team awards. Let's look at Cam's schedule before we get everyone out on their way. This is going to air Thursday, so getting you ready. Just a couple days out from the weekend, giving you something to look forward to before we hit the Friday. Gotta love the logo here for Cam as well on the schedule, guys. Before we look at the win-loss record predictions, ceilings, floors, any specific matches excite you here, intrigue you?
Week 7.
Yeah, that's a good poll. I like that. I play him once. I get him in week 14. I think anytime. I like it'll be interesting the fact that I know Matt sucks, but the fact that he plays Matt twice in the span of 3 weeks,
I,
I find that to be interesting and just the formatting of it all.
I,
I think him against Bauer could be fun too in week 4.
I agree
yeah,
with that.
I was just about to say, I think Cam's season is going to be really fun from week 5 to week 9. I think that's really going to determine what Cam's season is going to look like. If he can go 3-2 there or even 2-3, I think he's got a chance to make the playoffs. I really do. And it's going to be interesting.
What do you think, JP?
If he goes 3-2 through there, I will be insanely shocked.
Well, considering
Uh,
it's you, Luke, and Frank
yeah,
I
involved in
think
that.
I think he could beat Luke. And if Frank has a down week, I think he could beat Frank. I really do.
good. So then what's his ceiling for you?
I
That's a good
say
yeah. It's a good segue there.
I think his ceiling. I think his ceiling is 8 wins.
Really,
Floor.
I also think his ceiling is 8 wins, and that doesn't even include him beating Luke and Frank. So I was thinking your ceiling was going to be something like 10 wins then.
No, I don't think it's that high. No, no. But I
Really?
think
So
no.
actually, why don't we walk through this then, game by game, and you give us your ceiling of how you got to 8?
All right. So I think he
Because
loses
I
the.
also have his ceiling at 8 and 6. So I just want to preface that.
So I think he loses the. I think he loses the Cam Boyer.
Yeah, 0-1, 0-2, right out the
Oh, and
gate.
2. I think he beats Wade North versus
Yep,
South.
yep,
I
Yep.
think he beats Jack.
yep.
I think he loses to you. So what? 2-3,
2 and
2
right?
3.
3.
I think he beats Luke 3 and
Okay.
3.
Yep.
I think he beats Dade 4-3. I think he beats Jack Weed 8 5 and
You think
3.
so? You haven't beaten Jack twice.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I will
Just
say,
to preface, we haven't even Jack. We have Jack above Cam and Power Rankings. Not
and
that
I
means
know,
anything.
and we will get to Jack's team when we go over that. I'll save that for that. I got him at 5-3. Frank, yeah, I did say you know what? I'll give him a loss here, but I do think if Frank is a down week, I do think Cam can beat him 5-4.
So give it
Commit.
to him then. If this is the ceiling, he already swept Jack. You already said you think he can beat Frank. Give it to
All
him.
right, 6-3 then. I think he
Yep.
loses to you though, 6-4. Manziel Mafia, that's a win, 7-4. Nuz, I think he loses to Jake, 7-5, beats Matt, 8-5, and then Big Dogs, I think he loses to Yak, so 8-6.
Gotcha. So I'm just curious. Since we're talking about ceilings, you think then? Okay, this where I'm just a little lost then is the fact that you think he can beat Frank, who you have ranked above Andy, but then he can't beat Andy.
Yeah, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No, it
Now, if you would have
doesn't.
just said that you thought his ceiling could be 9 wins, and I probably would have let it rest. But
Yeah, you're probably right.
I
It's getting
digress. I
there.
have Cam's floor at 4-10. I have his ceiling at 8-6, and I have Cam going 7-7. because
have
I
the
do
ceiling.
agree with Drew. I do think he'll beat a team that we don't foresee him beating. But I don't think he's going to get two like crazy upsets like that. But he definitely could pull one off of Luke. He could pull one off of me. He could pull one off of anybody. But I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be a common thing for him.
Damn, I'm disappointed, man. I don't play Cam at all. That freaking sucks. Damn. That really
I
does suck, man.
I also have Cam's floor at 4-10, and I have his ceiling at 7-7. I think he wins 6 games. I'll preface it that way.
That's
But
fair.
like it's a tough one, guys. Not a lot of toss-ups, but there are some toss-ups in here. It wouldn't shock me if he finds a way to win 8 games. It would not. I'm just
100%.
you're trying to toe the line, right? You're trying to say, okay, we talk a lot about him winning a game maybe we wouldn't expect him to. Well, what if he loses a game we don't have?
100%.
What if he does lose that game to Jack? What if he does lose the date? Not saying he will, but it's gotta try and
100%.
balance out. Can't always anticipate he's gonna win every game. We don't think he will because he could lose a game. I mean, I lost a date last year. I think everyone lost a game last year, or a lot of teams did that they maybe didn't anticipate losing going into the season. Upsets aren't as common in our league in terms of the wide scale ones, but they do happen from time to time. So kind of trying to work that in between. This was a really fun episode, fellas. Enjoy it as always. We continue to make our way through this series here on the Just Beavin podcast, getting ready for season 5. We thank you for tuning in as always, and we'll catch you next week.